Afterwards, the two heads of state will witness the signing of cooperation agreements in areas such as agriculture, education, air transport, trade, and public service delivery. Before the bilateral discussions between delegations from Rwanda and Azerbaijan, both presidents will deliver statements to the press. President Kagame and his Azerbaijan counterpart has last met in November 2024 during the United Nations Climate Change Conference COP29 held in Baku, Azerbaijan. Moving ahead to the education sector, the Prime Minister, Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva, urged graduates of the Rwanda Institute for Conservation Agriculture to take the lead in advancing the country's goal of food security as the institution celebrated its third graduation ceremony, awarding bachelor's degrees to 83 students trained in sustainable agriculture and environmental conservation. William Evans has the details.
The event was marked with great joy and celebration for the 83 students who completed various applied degree programs in sustainable agriculture and livestock farming. These graduates are now well prepared to immediately put their skills into practice and contribute to the transforming of the agriculture and livestock sector in line with modern standards.
The project I did was a GIS-based suitability model for French beans, to give recommendation to farmers on how to grow French beans, the suitable area, and how to make the non-suitable area suitable. So skills like these are what we got from here, and are the skills we are going to use on the market to contribute to the development of our country and mostly to the development of agriculture in our country.
I want to reach those farmers who don't know about that conservation agriculture. I want to teach them, show them the importance of the agriculture, which conserves the land, our land. So I want to reach those who don't have that knowledge. So I want to teach them, show them how conservation agriculture can change their lives. So the first thing I want to do is reach to those who are far away in rural areas. So show them the importance of conservation agriculture so that they can start implementing it.
Families of the graduates also took the opportunity to express their gratitude to the government for establishing an education institution designed to address real challenges facing Rwandans. Olsegan Adedayo Yolkan, the interim Vice-Chancellor and Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Academic Affairs at the Rwanda Institution of Conservation Agriculture, congratulated the graduates and remarked that the students have been equipped with knowledge necessary to transform the agriculture sector in Rwanda.
Your training at RICA has been specifically designed to prepare you to lead this agricultural revolution. You have gained hands-on practical experience and a holistic understanding of the interconnectedness of agriculture, the environment, and livelihoods. The skills and knowledge you possess are the seeds that will enable you to cultivate change and sow a truly sustainable future for many generations of Rwandans. You are game changers. Your generation understands the urgency and the need for bold, innovative solutions. So, go and implement, lead, and promote conservation agricultural practices. Develop and adapt new technologies. Advocate for sustainable policies, and inspire and educate communities.
Prime Minister, the Right Honorable Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva, told the graduates the country is calling on them to use their knowledge to drive national development, especially in implementing the government's key strategies to promote agriculture as a foundation for sustainable economic growth and improved livelihoods for all citizens.
In partnership with esteemed organizations such as the Howard Buffett Foundation, the government has committed substantial resources to RICA with the deliberate aim of developing a new generation of competent and dedicated leaders poised to transform the agricultural sector. Conservation agriculture represents a viable pathway for Rwanda to achieve environmental sustainability and long-term resilience. By improving soil health, it enhances agricultural productivity, increases farm efficiency and profitability, and contributes significantly to food security and the improvement of rural livelihoods. Dear graduates, today you are not just receiving degrees, you are receiving a call to service. As outlined in our National Strategy for Transformation, NST2, Rwanda is committed to increasing productivity by 50% on priority food crops to ensure food security, self-sufficiency, and competitive export.
The Rwanda Institute for Conservation Agriculture, RICA, was established in 2019 through a partnership between the government of Rwanda and American philanthropist and friend of Rwanda, Howard G. Buffett. Since its inception, 242 students have graduated with bachelor's degrees in areas such as modern livestock production, sustainable crop production systems, food processing and value addition, as well as advanced agricultural mechanization and the use of heavy machinery in agriculture. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Moving ahead at the 12th Beijing Changsha Forum today, on Friday, Rwanda's Minister of Defense, Honorable Juvenal Marizamunda, participated in a panel discussion in which he emphasized the urgency of building peace in Africa through dialogue, regional cooperation, and African-led solutions. Speaking in a plenary session titled Building Regional Peace Through Dialogue and Consultation, Marizamunda shared Rwanda's perspective on addressing the continent's persistent conflicts. He stressed that many of Africa's challenges are rooted in colonial legacies, particularly the arbitrary borders drawn during the 1885 Berlin Conference, which continued to fuel disputes. Honorable Minister Juvenal Marizamunda also pointed to weak governance and lack of trust between states and citizens as key drivers of instability, often exploited by terrorists and armed groups. Africa has become the epicenter of international terrorism, he warned, adding that military responses alone are insufficient. Lasting peace depends on inclusive governance, justice, equitable opportunities, and youth empowerment. Highlighting Rwanda's own contributions, Juvenal Marizamunda, the Minister of Defense, noted the country's significant peacekeeping efforts. Since its first deployment to Darfur in 2004, Rwanda has contributed over 80,000 peacekeepers, currently ranking as Africa's top and the world's second largest troop and police contributor to the UN missions. Rwanda also maintains bilateral security support, notably in the Central African Republic and Mozambique, where it has deployed around 6,000 troops to combat insurgencies and protect civilians. The minister reaffirmed Rwanda's commitment to regional peace through justice, dialogue, and African ownership of solutions. Peace is not the absence of conflict, the minister said, but the presence of justice, dignity, and dialogue. A few days ago, Rwanda signed a defense agreement with China on strengthening the bilateral military cooperation between the two countries. Now moving ahead, we also have a communique from the Rwanda Development Board about the guidelines for hospitality activities during the 2025 UCI Road World Championships. Rwanda is proud to welcome athletes, fans, and visitors from around the world for the 2025 UCI Road World Championships. To support the event and manage the anticipated irregular traffic flow, the Rwanda Development Board, in collaboration with the relevant authorities, has implemented temporary measures for business operations from the 19th to 28th September 2025. Operating hours: all businesses, including shopping centers, restaurants, bars, and nightclubs, will be permitted to close at 4 a.m. during this period. Enforcement: the fast existing measures such as noise pollution restriction and the prohibition on serving or consuming alcohol to persons under the age of 18 remain in effect. The Rwanda Development Board reminds all consumers to drink responsibly and not to drive under the influence of alcohol. Alcohol should not be served to anyone who appears intoxicated. And finally, the Rwanda Development Board, in collaboration with other relevant government institutions, will ensure the proper implementation of these guidelines entities that violate these directives will be held accountable, and this was done today on the 19th September 2025. Moving ahead, with only a few hours left before Rwanda hosts the UCI Road World Championships, officials say preparations are at an advanced and satisfactory level. They are also urging citizens and the private sector to take full advantage of this unique opportunity. William Evans has the details.
While addressing the press on Friday afternoon concerning the UCI Road World Championship that is a few hours away, Rwanda's Minister for Sports confirmed that final checks have been made and everything is ready for a successful week-long competitive championship.
So the final checks is that we have to stay detailed. We have to stay following up everything until it's done. From the time you prepare, then you go into implementation, and then you'll go into evaluation after. So we keep checking in every detail as we finalize preparation, but also during implementation. We work very closely with UCI, who are, of course, even more experienced. It's the first time we are hosting this in Africa and in Rwanda, and we work very hand in hand to master every part of the competition, and we are assured and we're also confident that everything is on track. So as a ministry that is part of the institutions responsible, it's both a pride, but it's both also a challenge and a responsibility to make sure it's well delivered. Do we feel that we represent Africa? Yes, we are an African country, but also by the numbers of representation. Let me restate, because someone also asked that we repeat numbers. We have 110 nations with 919 riders. And in the 110 nations, we have African 38 nations. It's the biggest number. So that already shows that the representation of Africa is here. The second one is America. We have 20. In Europe, we have 35. In Asia, we have 16. And Oceania, we have 3. So with even that statistics, there's that huge representation, and we feel proud.
The Honorable Minister added that UCI Championship is beyond races happening, saying in return it will facilitate more sports development in Rwanda.
This championship, for Rwanda to host it, is not about the event alone. It's also about how much it is going to give as a return on the sport development itself. I'll mention that by saying the fact that now with us hosting this championship, Rwanda now has 3 satellite sites, UCI satellite sites, Musanze, Bugesera, and Rwamagana. And that is because of the efforts or this opportunity of hosting this championship. What those satellites implies is that we're going to be able to develop cyclism in Rwanda, but also in Africa, because in those sites you're able to have trainings of riders, trainings of their own coaches.
According to the president of the Rwanda Cycling Federation, Samson Daishimie, Rwanda is ready and will have a team of 26 members taking part in the UCI Road World Championship.
As of the 16th of September, we started with a team of around 26 cyclists. And then that's closer we get, hopefully that's the whole team you're going to see. That means that in some categories, like for the national team, for example, the women junior, we only have 2, but everybody else, we're looking at a team of 4 people or even more. So as of 16th of September, we have a team of 26 people. They finished their camp in Musanze at our center, UCI Satellite Center, and now move down south here at the Sera near Kigali. Gives them the opportunity to try all the terrains that they need in getting ready for this World Championship competitive races. So everyone is safe.
Kicking off on September 21st to 28th, the UCI Road World Championship 2025 is set to be one of the most challenging editions ever, with a 267.5 kilometers course featuring a total climb of 5,475 meters, and a total of 109 countries are expected to take part in this global cycling championship. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
Moving ahead, the Nyandungu Eco Park is set to expand its capacity to accommodate more tourists, with the goal of doubling the revenue generated from visitor activities. William Evans once more.
Recent statistics indicate that in 2024, Nyandungu Eco Park welcomed 76,754 visitors, generating over 158 million Rwandan francs in revenue. This marks significant growth compared to 2022, when the park received 48,813 visitors and generated just over 12 million Rwandan francs in revenue. This Friday, a key meeting was held at the park, bringing together local leaders from the neighboring communities and representatives of the park's management. The aim was to strengthen collaborative efforts in protecting the park, following reports that some residents from nearby areas have been engaging in activities harmful to the environment. We want them to help us address various challenges, especially because many of those who harm the environment come from the sectors, villages, and communities surrounding the Nyandungu Eco Park. Meanwhile, the head of environmental conservation at the Rwanda Development Board, Mutanga Nejid, announced plans to diversify the park's attraction by introducing new animal species. This initiative aims to enrich the visitors' experience and attract a broader range of tourists. What we plan to do soon is to bring in other animals. But before that, we need to plan carefully to ensure that the animals we introduce are well suited for the environment and habitat. It's not something we can do hastily or without proper preparation. This is part of our future plans for the Nyandungu Eco Park. However, we cannot achieve this goal without the collaboration of those who live nearby, the security personnel, the local authorities, and the entire community. While the specific species are yet to be finalized, park officials have indicated plans to introduce animals such as antelopes, zebras, gazelles, and other non-aggressive wild animals. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
To more news, members of the National Women's Council say the 2025-2026 period offers a great opportunity to further drive the country's development in line with the National Strategy for Transformation in its second phase. Let's take a look at the details. They emphasized this during the 24th General Assembly of the National Women's Council. Through the performance contract focusing on the economy, governance and social welfare, the National Women's Council members say they achieved the targets they had set for the fiscal year 2024-2025. They have now committed to new priorities, once again aligning with the National Strategy for Transformation in its second phase. They stressed that the new performance contracts will begin at the grassroots level within communities, while ensuring that family safety and stability remain at the heart of development. As elected women in the Women's Council, we were entrusted with responsibilities. Now we should go back to our communities, discuss these performance contracts, and also discuss with them about the NST2, because it contains all national programs. If women are able to better understand these goals, especially through family gatherings, where together we can make commitments and take action, that would be better, and this with women at the forefront. Our commitments are achievable because the first step is realizing that responsibility lies with us and that we are able. What we are going to do now is to put everything into action with focus on building families that are resilient, peaceful, free from conflict, delinquency, and child malnutrition. The chairperson of the National Women's Council, Belancille Nyiramana, reminded participants that success in meeting their targets starts at the local level. She emphasized that sustainable development requires collective effort. We revised the performance contract for women leaders, introducing broad strategies that will guide implementation. Every village in Rwanda will have a Women's Council committee of 7 members working with local authorities to ensure community participation in government programs. We also realized that many citizens are unaware of the laws protecting them, so we plan to raise awareness while encouraging peaceful coexistence and responsible parenting. And for them to be able to plan for their children, we would like to implement our goals starting from the grassroots level. The Minister of Gender and Family Promotion, Console Uwimana, urged women leaders to serve as role models for the younger generation and to ensure their commitments go beyond words. I want to encourage Rwandan women entrusted with leadership positions, starting with those of you here, to continue setting a positive example in your work and behavior. Many young people are looking up to us. Let us mentor them, share our knowledge in every possible way, and support them. That way, we will truly honor the trust placed in us. Let us work together to drive transformation, starting from our families, so we can achieve the Rwanda we all aspire to. Let's move from words to action. Currently, the National Women's Council leaders across Rwanda from the village to the national level total 122,064, excluding the 30% representation in district councils. They are all called to be the foundation of strong, peaceful, and empowered families. Now 17 military officers from countries that make up the East African Standby Force, a regional standby force ready to intervene in high-risk areas, have completed a training course held over several days at the Rwanda Peace Academy. This training, which lasted more than 10 days, was attended by officers who were being equipped with the necessary skills to participate in peacekeeping missions in conflict-prone areas. They were also trained to pass on the knowledge they acquired to their fellow officers.
It's been a nice course, and the course was very instrumental in equipping us with the skills necessary to be able to conduct training of trainers in our respective countries. We have also integrated with 7 member states who have been part of the course. And the course will assist the East African Standby Force in ensuring that we integrate and develop a capability for peace and security in the region. We will be able to pass on the knowledge learned to fellow members, and looking forward for future training and impacting the knowledge.
The commandant of the Nyachinama Senior Command and Staff College, Brigadier General Andrew Nyamvumba, urged the graduates to make good use of the knowledge and skills they acquired to help them succeed in various peace support operations.
This course that ends today is very relevant because it has equipped you with requisite subject matter and tools of analysis. In addition, it has equipped you with all the procedural and conceptual steps that a trainer goes through before and during the delivery of training, as well as during evaluation. In short, you now have the required knowledge, skills, and confidence that a trainer must have. Congratulations. I am therefore very confident that the knowledge and skills that you have acquired will be ably put to productive use. The course was designed to build a pool of knowledgeable and skilled trainers responsible for preparing battle commanders in peace support operations.
17 senior military officers graduated from a course titled Battleground Commanders in Peace Support Operations, training of trainers conducted in international languages. The officers came from 6 member countries of the East African Standby Force, which are Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, Comoros, Djibouti, and Ethiopia, along with representatives from the ESF headquarters. During the more than 10-day training program, the participants also visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial, where they learned about the history of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and Rwanda's progress in reconstruction and reconciliation.
Every journey has a beginning. From nature comes refreshing fruity goodness that keeps you going every day. With every pack complementing life's best moments. Not 1, not 2, but 5 different fruity flavors. And this journey keeps giving. Introducing Inyanji's new fruity juice flavors, guava and cocktail. Now available at your nearest shop. always ask for Inyange. Nyiri muto arababwiraga data bati ntabwo wagira umukamo mwinshi utunze inka imwe, ariko nigeze acika intege. Mama akinjira mu bucuruzi hari abamubwiraga bati ntabwo watera imbere udakorera mu iduka rigezweho, ariko ntibyamusubije inyuma, yakoranaga umwete. Njya muri kaminuza hari abanshidikanyagaho bavuga ko nashobora kaminuza naturuka mu muryango wifashije, ariko byarangiye nandiza amateka mashya. Igihe cyo gutera ishema umuryango wanjye kigeze, bamwe bakomeje kumbwira bati ntabwo watera umuryango wawe ibyishimo n'ishema, ariko narabishoboye. Hari abakekaga ko nasigira umurage ukomeye abankomokaho, ariko ubu mfite uruganda rutunganya amata. Banki ya Kigali yabaye umufatanyabikorwa wanjye mu rugendo rwose, inzozi zanjye ziba impamo. Bigereho.
You're still watching RTV News now to matters making headlines globally. In Malawi, both leading presidential candidates have declared victory in the country's recent elections, even though official results have not yet been released. The contenders are the incumbent President Lazarus Chakwera of the Malawi Congress Party and his main challenger Peter Mutharika, 85 years old, who previously served as president until 2020. Each candidate has accused the other of electoral fraud while claiming to have won. The situation follows delays in announcing the final tally. Malawi Electoral Commission Chairperson Annabelle said that more than 99% of votes have been counted, but stressed that the official results would be announced within 7 days. She urged political parties and their supporters to remain calm and await the formal announcement. 17 candidates competed for the presidency. Under Malawi's constitution, a runoff election will be required if no candidate secures more than 50% of the total vote. Tomorrow news, if the current schedule holds, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio are expected to meet next week in New York. The talks took place ahead of preparations for the annual United Nations General Assembly in September, will reportedly focus on key issues including the Russia-Ukraine war and broader Russian-U.S. relations, according to Russia's UN mission. That brings us to the end of tonight's bulletin, but before we leave, a reminder of the top stories that made this edition. The President of the Republic of Rwanda, His Excellency Paul Kagame, has begun a 3-day official visit to the Republic of Azerbaijan. The Prime Minister, Dr. Justin Nsengiyumva, urged graduates of the Rwanda Institute for Conservation Agriculture to take the lead in advancing the country's goal of food security. And on the international scene in Malawi, both leading presidential candidates have declared victory in the country's recent election, even though official results have not yet been released. This marks the end of today's edition. Thank you for joining us, dear viewers, and have a restful weekend. See you next.